It's at 9:45.
Yes.
So this one's been going, you filed this back in May. Let me get some other paperwork. How's everybody doing? Have you heard of anybody else?
No, I haven't.
Any other offices?
No,
Hopefully it's,
maybe it's dying down.
hopefully, yeah. Give a few minutes to see if Mr. Cunningham comes in. You know that, you know, an attorney named Roberto Oaxaca?
No.
He's an attorney with Sharon Legate. This is a substitute service of a Claudia Oaxaca. He says, business is closed. They're trying to serve him at 1550 Montana. I don't know. Business is closed at this time. Left delivery notice. Business is closed at this time. Left delivery notice. Phone answered. Number provided for Oaxaca Bernal Associates. Spoke with receptionist Erica Munoz. No knowledge of the subject. The phone number provided is to attorney Sharon Legate. No knowledge of the subject. No, Sharon Legate. Maybe closed. I received a call from Spoke. Confirmed residence. Subject's husband is currently in hospital with COVID-19 virus. Subject unable to set up an appointment for delivery of documents because she is frequently visiting her husband in the hospital. She will call if otherwise able to receive documents. Well, he died. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So I'm going to pull up on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give her a break. Oh, Mr. Cunningham. 9:45. I'm with you.
How are your daughters doing? Are they doing
They're,
okay?
they're doing all right. They're a little restless and concerned at the same time, they can't really do much, and then when they do something, they get all freaked out, like,
Yeah.
So it's like you can't, it's a no-win situation, you just can't.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I just think that now that it's almost flu season, it's only going to be worse, I think.
I do
Because,
too.
I mean, I know if I start getting sick, I'm going to panic.
Right.
But what if it's just a regular cold
Flu.
or just a flu? I don't know. It's
Right.
scary.
You got to get the
The flu shot.
flu shot, but when are those going to be available?
Yeah.
Morning. Can you unmute?
And there we go.
Okay, thank you. Have you heard from Mr. Cunningham?
No, I have not heard from him, but I did have a contractor that was there cleaning the property, I believe the day before yesterday, and he did report to me that Mr. Cunningham appeared to have been moving out.
Oh,
Yeah, that he was putting some stuff in the trash bins, like his furniture and whatnot.
and I guess no agency has come through with any rent or anything for him?
No.
Okay. I was just giving him some time to log on if he was so inclined.
Okay.
Let me just do this. Let me just, do we have a phone number for him?
Sure. Let
Oh,
me,
you do have, you have a phone number for him? Great. What is the number?
okay, I have a 915-702-3190.
Okay. 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 Let's give that a try. If he doesn't answer, we'll proceed.
Hello?
Mr. Cunningham,
Yes, sir.
this is Robert Pearson. We had our hearing today at 9 a.m. I mean, I'm sorry, at
Oh,
9:45.
what? I apologize. I completely forgot about that. I was driving out to a job application or job interview.
Okay.
I kept calling the number and texting her about that information.
Who's
and,
her? Who is her?
What was the lady's name that was on the telephone telephone yesterday on the video conference?
I think it was
Rocio.
Yes. Yeah, she'd give me her number and I had texted her all the time, and then I got no reply back from her. I texted back and emailed.
Texted her what?
Asked her for the information that was needed for me to finish the rest of the application process so they could get paid.
Well, can't you just contact the agency?
I didn't know what agency they were using. I had never talked to them before. Monica was the one who had called me and told me about it, and that she was going to do the application process. And so Monica was starting that, and she said, just look out for my email if there was anything I needed to do. And then I didn't receive an email from her. And so Rosio said that there was one part that I had to do last week. And as soon as she got in the office, she would send it to me. And I never received an email from them. And so I started texting as soon as we got out, all morning, all afternoon, the rest of that day. I tried to get in contact with him yesterday, calling. Pedro told me that they weren't in the office right now and that he would tell them and give me a call back. And so I text the El Paso Rentals number because it forwards it to their emails. And then I text her again and still got no reply.
Okay. And I'm just checking here to make sure that Rocio did inform you. We were trying to get a hold of you prior because that application with El Paso Rent Help was actually due on the 16th of August, and we had been trying to get a hold of you. But we weren't able to at all, which is I think after Rocio got a hold of you finally last Wednesday.
Yeah, that all occurred before the prior hearing. Yes.
Yeah, and so I think we've already passed that due date. And so from what I understand, Mr. Cunningham, I was supposed to that stuff was supposed to be turned in on the 16th, and we did not meet the deadline.
Weren't you working with an agency, Mr. Cunningham?
Yes, that was for the $800, but they had already let us know that they weren't going to be able to help.
Why?
With that, because that portion, the $800 would have been to stop an eviction, and so they said they weren't going to give the money if it wasn't going to stop the eviction. They weren't just going to pay the money.
Okay.
After they got, I believe they talked to Rocio and Monica, or one or the other, and they got the information needed from them, but then they called me and said that they weren't going to be able to help with that.
Okay. How much is the monthly rent?
$13.95.
$13.95?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
What months are outstanding?
We have partial of February, I believe. Let me get that amount for you. And then every month thereafter, so. Okay, so what he owes in February is $1,252.83. And then he owes the month of March, April, May, June, July, and now August.
I get the amount of rent of $9,622. Do either of you,
Uh-huh.
does that sound correct? You or Mr. Cunningham, does that sound correct to you?
Let me
Yes,
go ahead.
the math is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to grant a claim for unpaid rent of $9,622. The monthly rent is $13.95. Are you moving out, Mr. Cunningham?
I mean, I guess at this point, I don't have any choice if they're going to grant the eviction.
Well, my understanding is that you were moving a day or two ago. Is that correct or no?
No, I mean, I was going to wait to see if this was going to get resolved, to see if I could. I mean, I would need at least another week.
It's my understanding that you've been making arrangements to move. Is that not correct or no?
Well, yes, I was
Okay.
making arrangements to move.
Okay. So
But I was still waiting, still holding back on that to see if that actual money for the past due from, I guess, February, March, and then the month of April, they were going to take care of 3 months and then see if there was anything that the owner was going to work out. But they were waiting to see if they were going to get that money from that organization.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry, and I think from my understanding too, Michael, on that is if you would have qualified, because there was still another step. There was different steps as to qualification, the process. And let's just say you had been selected, they were only going to assist with 3 months. So it still wouldn't have been enough to stop the eviction unless you would have got financial assistance from the CARES Act or from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grant the eviction, the amount of $9,622 in outstanding rent plus court cost of $146. Mr. Cunningham, I believe we have his, Mr. Cunningham, we have each of your all's email. We'll email a copy of the judgment.
Okay.
Any questions?
I think you guys have ours.
Yes,
Ours is the assistant at elpasohomerentals.com.
yes.
Okay, that would be fine.
Any questions, Mr. Cunningham?
About how long do I have to get out?
You have to vacate on or before August 31st. If you shouldn't vacate, they can come get rid of possession on September 1st.
Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.